They are the experts. They know what's best. They know what to do with your money. Just trust them, trust the process. If it seems unfair, it's because you're not smart enough to understand why it is fair. You know what it is? You're not smart enough to have an opinion. And I want to tell you, I know this because someone who is smart enough to have an opinion, Sam Harris, recently went on Lex Fridman's podcast and said this. He's been very upset that I have a platform. He's very upset that people listen to me. He's very upset that I have an opinion about things that I can't possibly understand, right? I'm not an expert. How could I know that my tax dollars, why would I care? Why should I even talk about the fact that they're bailing out Sufi Bank? Listen to what Sam Harris had to say on Lex Fridman's podcast.
We're swimming in a sea of misinformation where you've got people who are moving the opinions of millions of others who...
Does that include you, Sam Harris? All the shit that you talk about Islam that you have absolutely no clue whatsoever, not even close to what the hell you're talking about? Does that include you, Sam Harris? Let's listen to that again.
In a sea of misinformation where you've got people who are moving the opinions of millions of others who should not have an opinion on these topics. Like there is no.
Okay, let's start with you, Sam Harris. How about you shut your stupid damn mouth about Islam, because you don't know anything about what you're talking about when it comes to Islam, and you are looking at the most extremist Salafi and then making a straw man argument of that and spreading misinformation to millions about Islam and spreading these terrorist Muslims, this kind of nonsense that you're spreading, whilst in reality most of the 1.5 billion Muslims are normal, humble people somewhere in the middle. So does that include you yourself? Look who is talking.
These topics, like there is no scenario in which you should be getting your opinion about vaccine safety or climate change or the war in Ukraine, or anything else that we might want to talk about from Candace Owens, right? It's just like she's not.
That's racist, but let's continue.
Not a relevant expert on any of those topics, and what's more, she doesn't seem to care, right? And she's living in a culture that has amplified.
Look at Candace. Look at Candace Owens. Her reaction was exactly the same reaction that I had as a Sufi Muslim when this fool talks about Islam. He's so absurdly arrogant. He's so over the top arrogant that you almost start thinking that Sam Harris is like a friend of the deep state, just there to provoke, because it's so over the top. This cannot be real. I think this is almost intentionally there to, for some kind of agenda. It's so over the top. Let's see.
Culture that has amplified that not caring into a business model, an effective business model.
Well, you heard it there. That ends this podcast. This is going to be the last podcast I ever do. Sick burn right there. I'm not an expert. I don't know how I have the audacity. Who ordained me the right to have an opinion? I mean, yeah, okay.
But isn't like Sam Harris supposed to be a liberal? Or Candace Owens, you certainly have freedom of speech. You are free to speak what you want to speak. People can decide themselves if they like to listen to you or not.
It's my tax dollars, it's our tax dollars, but who cares? Just listen to people like Sam Harris tell you what to do. They have a right to rule over me and you. And shame on you for having an opinion. Honestly, shame on you for even watching this video. How dare you?
Yeah, so just some comments. You don't have to agree with Candace Owens' political opinions. I mean, myself, I used to be something like moderate, somewhere in the middle, right? But she's intelligent, she's black, and she's a woman. And that is very provocative to people because she doesn't act like black women are supposed to act. She thinks freely and she expresses her free thoughts. And that threatens people. And that is why I like Candace Owens, because no matter what you think about her politics, her ability to be so free and speak freely what she thinks, that is very good for an oppressed and ex-colonized people, such as black people that suffer with post-colonial, mental slavery and these kinds of things, just to see this kind of freedom. And I just find it so incredibly funny that Sam Harris is the one talking about some people not having an opinion about things. Well, Mr. Islamic expert, why don't we start with you, Sam Harris? Why don't you start with yourself? Practice your own truth, eh?